Hello everybody, this is Big Daddy Rocker Gamer, and this is another episode of Let's Play Phoenix Point. I'm coming to you from the editing room this time because for some reason in my setup I managed to remove the microphone during recording. So I had to add my cheerful commentary after the fact. This time we are dealing with the mission, the Schyther, and we're taking everybody except Sophia and Victor. And there's not really much else to say except that it's gonna be an nail biter. This one was like one of the previous episodes where the enemy brought a lot of explosives. This is very similar. But you know, just like last time, or most of the times, we open up by trying to take a look around, see what's going on the map, and get an overview. This time we're fighting against Disciple of Anu knockoffs, so at least they're not the worst kind of enemies. They're not like the new Jericho factions that brings crazy amounts of rockets and stuff. At least there's that, but they still have berserkers that can really put down the pain if they get close into you. And so this whole mission is just trying to manage and limit how fast the enemy can come charging at you. I think I do a fairly decent job, but there's a couple of really close calls here as well. And seeing as you have two enemies right out the door here, you haven't even moved, and the first two enemies are already up in your face, I was struggling a little bit with what to do and how to approach this, but as always, Nuria is a good start. Can't go wrong with Nuria. Not at this point. But yeah, positioning is a bit finicky, but we get there. Now, yeah, He-Hulk is a lot of fun to play with. I like him. I wish I had proper insights in the early campaign when I created the priest mutoid, McCheesy. He didn't really last very long, and that's entirely my own fault because I really didn't know how to build him, what I was doing. He-Hulk, though, has been a tremendous amount of fun to play with. And so if I do another Phoenix Point playthrough, I'm going to see if I can get mutoids earlier because they're funny to play with. And there's a couple of ideas I've been having. One of those ideas would be to make a assault trooper with quick aim, because the idea of firing 4 shotgun shells up close is hilarious to me. And the game gives you a lot of really good shotguns, but by this time in the game, I don't really have any soldiers who can properly utilize it because everyone that I want to use them is so vulnerable. And most of the rest of them, they have sniper rifles because sniper rifles are just damn good, to be honest. And so, with this in mind, for a next playthrough, for an eventual second playthrough, I would have to modify the way I build my troopers, and one of those ways would be how to deal with
Let's do this.
how to deal properly with a mutoid soldier. I never got around to playing with mech parts here in this playthrough because I just never had the resources to build a mech lab. And that would be fun to do too. And the reason I'm talking as if the campaign is over is because once this mission finishes, I finish up the research of the Liturgy of the Flesh, which I think unlocks the last mission, or maybe the penultimate mission. I don't know if there's the one where you have to escort the Exalted to the Receptacle, or whatever they call it. And I unlock that after this. So, of course I can stay around, I can delay the campaign for as long as possible, and see if I can build a lot of fun stuff and stuff like that. But I think next episode I'm just going to go in and see if I can finish it. Because if I don't do it, all I'm basically doing here is just artificially delaying the campaign for the sake of artificially delaying it. And yeah, the enemies have a lot of incendiaries. You will see that in this fight. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to aim to finish it in the next video. I don't know if it's the final mission, but I get a very big sense that it might not be the final mission, but it's pretty close to it. Yeah, burning soldiers in the middle, out in the open, that's always very fun to have. And a whole bunch of assault troopers coming in. They really wanted to pin me down there. Almost destroy the Harrow. Luckily, almost doesn't actually do it. But this mission was almost forgot the quick game too. This mission was a bit of a struggle because the offensive the enemy provides you is very overwhelming, combined with grenades and so many targets just keep running in. So you have more to shoot at than you have to, and then you have the option to solve the problem with. And that's very scary, to put it simple. Now, what did oh yeah, I remember. I remember this fight. I was pondering what to do here. Because I didn't want that guy to go in and throw another incendiary on my team. That would be devastating. So I tried to distract them by setting up my own incendiary there. See if I can make him waste his actions on shooting the fireworm. Cormac, he's coming out of retirement because I really needed a lot of shots here. I needed him to kill stuff for me. So naturally he starts by missing a lot.
Need to try again.
Cormac is He's not a bad sniper, he's just unreliable. That's unfortunate, but I don't know why he's unreliable, because he has some of the best gear available, but yeah, it is what it is. Electric reinforcement is one of the, if not the single strongest buff in the game, I found. It just makes the whole team so much more durable, and you will see that in the coming round. Absolutely a skill I would recommend people leveling on their technicians. Technician Priest combo is pretty good. I really like this combo. Yes, it requires a whole lot of willpower, but with the head mutation where you can regenerate willpower, it's much easier to deal with. Yeah, and just checking if this guy will die on his own. And then pondering if I should set up an Overwatch or try to Mind Crush. I think I eventually end up with an Overwatch here. Yeah, I did. Not that the Overwatches do very much against such heavily armored enemies. Here comes more grenades, this time acids, so it could have been worse, but it's still a lot of grenades. There's more coming, if I'm not mistaken. I do struggle quite a bit in parts of this mission because the enemy is so heavy with employing dirty tactics. I say dirty tactics, I don't actually mean dirty tactics. I of course means they're good at putting pressure on me. To be fair, there is not really any dirty tactics in this kind of game. A part of the problem when you're dealing with something like this is that you have a lot of enemies and you don't have enough firepower to take them all out. So you know that there will be enemies up here and you need to sort of... That's some crazy Spider-Man dodging. I'm fairly sure I had him entirely within my circle, but then I go ahead and I lose, and I'm like, oh god, what do I do now? I got a bit stressed by that mess. And yeah. And then I'm pondering, what do I do here? I need to take this guy down because I can't let him shoot again. He just fired at me with a shotgun. If he gets any closer, this is gonna hurt a lot. So what do I do? And then I notice I don't have enough move actions to actually fire the gun here. And I'm panicking at this point because I'm like, oh god, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I realize I just have Cormac sitting out in the open. I can't really see what Nuria is aiming at. As long as she's aiming in through the ocean of fire here. That's one of the worst things about incendiaries. They just leave this burning ground that makes everything. But then, luckily, I find Panic available on Madeline. She has a lot of willpower, and that's enough to send that dude into panic. So I buy myself around, and I decide to panic this guy as well.
Ready.
I think I end up panicking him. Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was later. Could be. Anyways, trying to mitigate how many actions the enemy can take on me is the name of the game here. And, of course, quick aims. Always quick aim. Quick aim. And Nuria, she's just making some very important shots here again. She's been consistent through the campaign since I got her. She doesn't have the massive death and destruction capability of Brahman with his adrenaline surge, and is properly supported with onslaught characters. But she's just so damn freaking consistent. And consistency is extremely important, I've found. It makes a lot of fights much easier. And here, I decide to use the most overpowered stuff technicians have, and just take control of the battlefield. And use this to clear out the enemy assault troopers, so Nuria can make a shot into the fire. And I run Brahman up too, because I think I run Brahman to the side too, because I really want that guy dead. I don't want him to accidentally kill someone. Quick aim saves the day, as usual. And I aim for his arm, because if I can take out his arm, then there will be no return fire, and I have a better shot at taking him out. I cannot see what I'm aiming at here, so I'm shooting blindly, and I of course hit the gun. I think I end up destroying that iconoclast. That's okay. It is what it is. But Abominable He-Hulk is alone up top there. And yes, the enemy is dazed, but there's more enemies up there. So I need to get him some support up as fast as possible. And for that, I decide to run up Emiliano. And so, dash, along with decent positioning, and to see if I can find any other targets, but I can't. This is the one I have. Tentacle. I did not anticipate him having return fire. Luckily, Emiliano is heavily armored. But now I'm expecting He-Hulk to take a lot of damage in the coming round. So I'm wondering, how can I mitigate it? How can I reduce it? Where will the enemy come from? Scanning around, trying to figure out how to solve the problem before it becomes a problem. I know this guy is panicked, he's gonna run. But I have no idea where he's going to run to, and if I cannot kill him by the end of the round, he will throw a grenade at my team next round. Luckily, this guy decided to move, and being dazed, that's all he gets to do. And the assault trooper shoots once, but heals himself too, and that's great. And luckily, there's no more enemies showing up at the moment. So we run Brahman up, and we set him down to fire on the enemy. And same with Celia, we want this guy dead. But he just doesn't die. He has so much armor that even if Celia pumped him full of virus, he doesn't actually take any virus damage because it doesn't go through the armor. And that is a little bit scary, to say the least.
Oh.
And then I realized this guy has a lot of sight range.
What's our move?
And so I'm starting to wonder, what do I do? And the answer is I have to run up Emiliano and gotta see if I can kill him. But even so, Emiliano doesn't take him down. And this trooper here is just so stubbornly strong. So I'm going all out here. He-Hulk needs to take out both targets. And he starts like this, and that's great. So I do another quick game. I think. Yeah. I realized that that shot is not going to connect. So, quick game and the... But then this happens. I shoot twice into the stone and I realize, crap. I'm not hitting. So I'm running Cormac up, quick game, and then I pray to higher powers that this is the shot that takes him down. And Cormac misses. My Watcher cannot even hit him, and now I'm running out of options. Nuria also needs to shoot. And I'm wondering, okay, what do I do here? What do I do? And Nuria has to shoot through the smoke and the fire. She sees nothing. And then this happens. And I'm like, wait a minute. And her hit brings him down to 4 hit points. He will bleed to death and his gun is taken down. Nuria just saves the day. I don't know how she does it. She just makes everything better because she's Nuria. That's really all there is to say to it. Say about it. And then the reinforcements start coming in. They start spawning in berserkers everywhere. This guy, having no weapon and taking a lot of damage, decides to do the wiser course of valor, or whatever they call it. And I am now free to start picking up some of the gear left on the battlefield. So, yeah, that's exactly what I started doing. Celia just... she's up there, she can wait. But so how do I deal with this guy? I decide, okay, let's do that. Unfortunately, shooting through concrete isn't that easy. Even when you have high caliber Watcher units. So I decide to sort of set myself up around here with some Overwatches and see if I can find a way to deal with him in case he doesn't come through. Cormac will try his combo again, but I begin to realize I have some aiming issues. And I try it over and over again because I literally just used that, and it's so frustrating. I cannot get a proper aim for him. So I decide to try that, but to no avail. But then, as always, guess who comes to the rescue? And a rare miss. Because Nuria can't fix everything always. I mean, that would take away all the fun, wouldn't it? So now I'm starting to sweat a little bit here because I have this berserker coming. And so I decided, okay, let's get up to reinforcement and start doing some chip damage on it. Emiliano wants to go over here and pick up gear. It's just ammo, but everything helps at this point. And Brahman goes in, and he does the quick aim too. But he doesn't really have a good shot. But he fires. You never know. So, He-Hulk needs to be brought in. And I think I run a double dash. And then I go for heavy weaponry. And I'm like, you will see what happens here. Because I aim directly for this guy and I start blowing out the wall. And I'm like, why didn't I just start with this? Then everybody would be able to actually hit him. So as you can see, sequence of when you do things and how you do things is just as important as everything else. If you do it in the wrong sequence, you end up blowing down an enemy wall, but you don't actually kill the guy behind. Luckily, I did get him dazed with that one hit. So he only fires off a single pistol shot, which doesn't connect. Now, running Emiliano, because he's bleeding, he's taken a lot of damage. I want him healed. Madeline is the closest, and she has a bunch of med kits.
Here.
And Emiliano feels a little bit better off. I wanted to rocket jump, but then I realized, oh no, his chest is down. I need to repair his chest. And so I run up Anne too.
What's our move?
But Anne doesn't have enough action points, so I have to wait one more round.
Moving.
So at that, I just decided, okay, move Emiliano forward. Let's see if I can kill this guy. And he does. It's pretty good. And yeah, Celia just picks up some stuff, heals herself up, get rid of the bleed, and then she casually starts strolling towards where she needs to be.
Moving to coordinates.
Now I am running in Cormac to see if I can pick up some of the stuff here, see if there's anything useful, anything worthwhile. And I can finally begin properly advancing towards my goal. Now, all of that said, there's still that guy over there. He's not exactly friendly, and I don't really know what to do with him. I have some sort of vision to him, but I'm thinking I'll run He-Hulk somewhere else. And luck will have it that I don't actually damage the enemy, but I take away his assault rifle. And that makes me feel much safer to just spend one round running area. and leaving both of my medics out in the open and try to see if I can kill him. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that action was a bit of a mistake. Because you see, he has a grenade. It's entirely my own fault, this one. Emiliana takes him down with a return fire, but now 2 of my healers and the main guy whom I was supposed to do the rocket jump with is now bleeding out heavily. All of them are in really bad shape. And I decide to enable Emiliana and then try to run Anna out of the fire afterwards. Use up 3 out of her 4 actions to enable her out. Madeline, her sole job is to just make sure that Anne does not die at this point. And now, having everything enabled, I continue with the plan to rocket jump Emiliana. But as you see, he takes a lot of damage. I prepare myself as best as I can, because he will need to start his next round with healing. I just wasted a good action there, because I didn't pay attention. Now, Abominable He-Hulk goes up to see what's left on the ground here. Yay, I get another incendiary grenade which I can use. But here's the big prize. That's a Harrower, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Harrower. And that made me happy to finally have another to have more guns. You can never go wrong with more guns in a game like this. And having vision to the next Berserker, I figure out, let's try to take him down. I managed to disable the arm, which is a big victory. And I decide to run Nuri up too and see if I can take a shot with her too. And she comes through. Like she usually does. Now, I decided to run Cormac on the side here. And the reason is very simple. I want him to be able to cruise around and maybe pick up some stuff. And have a better view so I can take out the enemies on this side much easier. And Celia, she just needs to trot back up to the others. I know that next round she's going to be crucial in trying to keep everyone alive who's going to be burning, taking more damage. And here we go. First off, Anne needs to shield medic herself. And then she needs to get away. I end up setting her there because I don't dare to move her in a way where she will stand up. And now begins the very, very, very slow process of moving towards my target and not dying accidentally, which is much harder than it sounds. I know, because I've been very reckless previously, and that has led to some rather bad deaths. So Emiliano heals up.
Already there.
And then he goes and activates the device. Now I just need to evacuate. But that's easier said than done. Brahmin having available space picks up the grenade. The hollow grenade, I think, or something. Don't know what it's called. He-Hulk sets up with a shotgun just in case anything comes running in that door. Nuria, I'm thinking of trying to run her close, see if I can find a shot to this guy, but she doesn't have the angles for it. Then I decide, why not get her up top? And that's what I do. I move her upstairs. She doesn't get to fire anything this round because it's too much movement. But I'm thinking now she's at least in a position where she can utilize height advantage. The Raven, I found, is a decent gun, but it runs out of ammo so quickly. It's not even funny. Yeah, like 10 shots, and 10 shots on a sniper like Cormac, they disappear very fast. That's a single round of adrenaline rush and he's gonna be out. Celia is finally reunited with her battle sisters. Luckily, the Berserker felt the need to heal himself after taking tanking a Raven with his face. Madeline picks up the turret because, let's face it, I don't want to lose the turret because I didn't pick it up. Anne gets further away from the fire, gets to heal herself up a little bit. And I'm finally starting to feel like, okay, I got this under control. I can deal with this. But I still have a long way to go. I still need to get people up to the evacuation point, and they're still spawning in reinforcements constantly. So I'm starting to ponder how to deal with this. What can I do? And He-Hulk, he's good. He's just good. And I'm looking for angles to fire at the enemy. Nuria, she has a shot from up top. I decide to go after the arm, because if I can take down the arm, then I remove his ability to hit me with two-handers. And I need to get Emiliano down. Emiliano's hurting a lot. So just drop him down on the side and plan to move up my medics. Cormac snail paces himself up using the ever powerful ability of quick aim. The enemy bleeds out, another one spawns in, this time on the opposite side. And He-Hulk takes a bit more damage. That's kind of scary because he lost his he lost his head, so to speak, and starts to bleed. And bleeding is not very good for mutoids because there's very limited ways to fix this in the field. Now he has a crap ton of health, So it's not like he's just gonna fall over and die that easily, but you know, it's not optimal. Now, I'm just trying to set up so people can evacuate as fast as possible. An area having the high ground. It's just walking back and forth and shooting at people, doing what she does best. Clutch shots, saving the day. You know, just being awesome in general. That's how it works. Celia runs up after the others. She doesn't get to do much this mission because she has so much running to catch up. Now, I'm wondering what to get, but I end up with the Iron Fury and the Mace because I consider weapons much more valuable than ammunition at this point. Even if it's a weapon I don't use, I can always break it down for materials and tech that I can then use into things that I do use.
Moving out.
And a rare hit allows me to move on. Now, He-Hulk has a lot of movement and he still has bag space, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll be greedy. I might regret this, but I'll be greedy. I'll go over and I'll dump the Harrower magazine and I'll bring that mace with me. I see that I have a lot of magazines with me. Well, let's see what I find here. I just find a small grenade and I figure out it's not worth it. Start running Cormac towards the exit. I'm a little bit worried that there's gonna spawn a berserker right behind me here. But it's a gamble I sort of have to take. Because if there does in fact spawn one behind me, I will have the option of either trying to run away or hope I can take him down with Cormac and Hulk in one round. But at this point, all I just want to do is get out. So I decide to set up the perimeter of death here. You will see what this means very quickly. Maybe it's next round I do it. Yeah, I think I just try to get everyone as close to the exit as possible. Because I want to be able to get out fast. And here comes another berserker again. And Cormac is running for his life. And for some reason, I didn't think to use Onslaught on Cormac here. I run out He-Hulk because I don't want him to bleed more. And I don't want the enemy a chance to shoot at him just because something can go wrong. So, running Nuria down, knowing that Cormac cannot evacuate this round, because I for some reason forget about Onslaught here. So I set up the perimeter of death.
Moving.
And here comes the enemy. You see, Berserker, he's brave. He's doing what he needs to do. And he's triggering so many overwatches, but he's not triggering that final one that would have killed him. And even though perimeter of death was a thing, it just wasn't good enough. But I don't care at this point. I evacuate out. I don't want to stay here any more than I have to. This is not how we win. We just get out. And finally, that's the end of the mission. All in all, I'm happy with how it turned out. And as you can see, lots of skill points available. I replenish up my weapons and gear. And I even put the Schyther up for research. I mean, why not? Two days to go for the Liturgy of the Flesh, of the Divine Flesh. And I go back to base to heal up my soldiers. I decide to put Oscar into Phoenix Transfer because I felt like he doesn't get enough experience when he's in the Manticore, even though the Manticore is docked at Phoenix Transfer. So I put him down with the rest of the crew just to see if it's just me or if they actually do earn the experience faster when they're stationed inside. And then we wait. We have some new personnel coming in. Priest and 2 snipers. I'm looking around and sort of debating with myself here. The trooper here is awesome because it just means access to a whole range of guns that has 2 actions and is pretty good up close. And combine that with quick aim, then you have a soldier who can fire their assault rifles for just a single action. That's cool. I was pondering if I should make myself a thief sniper thing. I do that. And eventually I go back here and I get the other guy as well, because he will be an excellent infiltrator sniper. I don't really need these 2 soldiers at this point though, because I know that I'm close to the end game here. Very close. I still haven't managed to capture Scylla. I still haven't managed to reach into the maze. And there's the Pandoran structure still have not turned into a citadel. In fact, I check it a little in just a few minutes, I think. Because, yeah, checking here to see if it's become a citadel, because I really want a chance to capture that Scylla. To see if I can do that. But, yeah, as it is now, I end up waiting. And here we go.
The dead god, what you call the Yugothian entity, is reaching the final stages of his plan. His Pandora virus has terraformed the planet sufficiently to begin construction of his palace. When it is complete, he will transfer his mind to Earth, and that will be the end of us. But he believes that I am his servant, and that will be his downfall. I have watched him, listened to his mind. I know his weaknesses. Together, we will infiltrate the palace. I will become one with the receptacle, modifying its purpose in a way he cannot prevent. I will download all of his knowledge, but not him, not his mind. He will be cut off, banished to his barren planet until the end of time, and all the power he sought to use against us will belong to us, to humanity. That is how we will be perfected. Not in the image of some distant god, but by our own choosing.
And there you have it. I'm not sure if this is the final mission or if it's just a penultimate mission. Like hacking, going in, taking over, hacking the receptacle, and then having to do some defense mission afterwards. Or if this is actually the last mission, I don't know. I've never played the Disciples of Anod before, so I have no clue how this is gonna ultimately work out. But I do move down to setup, and this is very much the beginning of the end. There's a lot of technologies I would love to have. I would love to, for example, finish the acid weapons technology, but I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I would also have loved if this became a lair. Citadel, I mean, so I could capture a Scylla. That would be an awesome thing to do. But I don't see it happening. I'm gonna meet at least one Scylla inside there, but I think I will kill that one the old-fashioned way by just bombarding it until there's nothing left but a smoldering heap of burning flesh. As you can see, I'm looking at all of these cool technologies and I'm lamenting that I'm not gonna see them into play. There's just not enough time. I could artificially draw this campaign out to get some of those technologies, but it doesn't feel right. Anyways, this is Big Daddy Rocker Gamer, and I think we might be going for the end next time.